I moved down here to where I was born 12 years ago, and I was just appalled at the lack of information from the local press, and that, you know, people weren't finding out, you know, you couldn't find out what really was going on, because we'd had a lot of fairly contentious issues with council and you know, building tower lines and stuff. We had a little action group, and they all said, we should have a newspaper. And then they all looked at me. So I went, of course we should. We should have a newspaper.
So you're a one-woman show with an independent newspaper that you do everything pretty much yourself.
Well, I put the paper together, I write it, but I mean, it ranges from hard-hitting investigative journalism to fun stories, general knowledge, international politics. It's, you know, we are an older demographic. People don't go online to read newspapers. It's a country. They want to walk into town, pick up the paper, have a cup of coffee, read the paper and take it home. And I mean, I now have a whole team of writers that help me. The beauty man, who writes my beauty column, is the landscape gardener from Bunnings. I've developed all this talent, which is wonderful. But I write the lead stories and the hard-hitting stuff.
When did health become a serious issue as far as you could see within the district?
I started to get a few letters, emails, and letters dropped in the letterbox just gradually. Absolutely, awfully, you know, heartwarming and tragic events where, I guess, when you lose someone under really unfortunate circumstances, or, you know, things, when you go to hospital to be fixed and you're not, there's other issues. It's where do you turn? So obviously there's a need for improvement, and so I started to discover that when nurses and doctors were quietly contacting me, sometimes anonymously, to say that the hospital is being downgraded. There's just not the funding, staff are unhappy, and things were just not functioning properly. You know, we're 4 hours from Sydney, and we need a community that the core of a community is your hospital and your police and your, you know, those very, very vital, necessary, you know, things that glue a community together and make you feel safe, and the reason that you love being here and you don't want to feel that you've got to move away as you get older. And that seems to be a very common fear from, you know, these letters in very spidery, shaky handwriting from people that are very, very worried or have had really terrible experiences. There's an arrogance in bureaucracy and government that we don't count. And our ageing population, which we are the majority here, are just being dismissed.
We don't count?
We don't. You feel like you don't count. Because we're not listened to, and nothing changes.
You haven't thought, this is too hard? I should throw it in?
Oh, yes. Not just the hospital, which is, to me, the more, you know, compassionate a thing that worries me the most. And I keep hearing terrible, you know, stories and stuff. I mean, and among good things.
You're a fighter.
So I'll keep going. And the support, you know, there's people coming out of the woodwork in a large area now to tell me their stories. And there's extraordinary, you know, news and stories and information and people that's lovely to share. I just feel that it's a voice for the community because they have no one else that speaks for them.
Hello, I'm Liz Hayes. Thanks for watching. To keep up with the latest from 60 Minutes Australia, make sure you subscribe to our channel. You can also download the 9Now app for full episodes and other exclusive 60 Minutes content.